Have you ever met someone and felt, deep down, that they were meant to be part of your life? Not just in a romantic way, but in any real, meaningful connection. A friend, a mentor, a partner, or even a stranger who appeared at the exact moment you needed them. Was it simply chance or something deeper? Something aligned with your inner world? Today on Beyond the Twist, we explore what Carl Jung believed about these meaningful connections, why certain people feel destined for us, and what that really means. We'll look at how the unconscious mind shapes the people we attract, how synchronicity reveals alignment, and how to tell real connection from illusion. But more importantly, we'll ask, before recognizing the right person, have you recognized yourself? Let's begin. Carl Jung didn't believe in coincidences. He believed that every person, every event, carries symbolic meaning. Every connection reflects something within us, often something hidden, unhealed, or waiting to be seen. When someone enters your life and feels strangely familiar, as if you've known them forever, Jung called that synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence. It's the moment when your inner world and outer world collide in perfect timing. These encounters are not random. They are mirrors of your current state, offering insight, healing, or sometimes confrontation. But not every intense connection is meant to last. The unconscious mind doesn't care about comfort. It seeks growth. Sometimes the people who leave the deepest marks are the ones who touch our deepest wounds. If you find yourself stuck in repetitive relationship patterns, abandonment, emotional distance, constant conflict, Jung would say this isn't bad luck. It's your unconscious trying to speak. The psyche is always seeking wholeness, and until you bring those patterns into awareness, you'll relive them. You're not cursed. You're being shown what still needs healing. Think about it. If you grew up feeling unseen, you might be drawn to people who overlook your needs. Not because you enjoy that pain, but because your mind is trying to understand it, to rewrite the story. Until you become conscious of it, the pattern continues. That's why self-awareness is everything. Until you see the root, you'll mistake the symptom for the cause. You'll call it fate when it's really reflection. Jung called this process individuation, the journey of becoming who you truly are. It's the foundation for every healthy connection. When you are fragmented, you attract people who reflect that fragmentation. But when you are whole, you attract from wholeness. This isn't metaphorical, it's psychological, energetic, real. So many people search endlessly for the right person without becoming the person who could recognize them. You might ask, why do I keep attracting people who don't value me? But the deeper question is, do I value myself? When your relationship with yourself changes, everything outside of you begins to shift. People who once felt magnetic lose their hold. New connections appear, not because they suddenly exist, but because now you can finally see them. You stop trying to complete yourself through others. You start meeting people from stability, not emptiness. But there's a trap, confusing synchronicity with projection. When you feel that powerful pull towards someone, ask yourself, is this alignment, or am I projecting my unmet needs onto them? Jung explained that when we ignore certain parts of ourselves, we project them outward. You might admire someone's confidence, their light, their power, but maybe it's because you've disowned those same traits in yourself. The other person becomes a canvas for what you've forgotten within you. The danger is, when they fail to live up to your ideal, the illusion shatters. You're left with disappointment, not because they changed, but because you never truly saw them. You were seeing yourself through them. So how do you tell the difference? Real connection brings peace, not chaos. It grounds you instead of shaking you. You don't feel like you're constantly chasing, performing, or proving. You simply feel accepted, and, most importantly, you feel like yourself. Jung believed that intuition is the language of the unconscious. It doesn't speak in logic, it speaks in feeling. Have you ever ignored that quiet inner signal that something wasn't right? You stayed, even when the signs were clear. You told yourself you were being paranoid, too emotional. But your body knew. Your intuition was speaking. When someone is truly right for you, your nervous system doesn't feel like it's under attack. You don't live in tension, waiting for disappointment. Instead, you feel calm, safe, clear. Real connection doesn't scream, it whispers. And when you've done the inner work to quiet your fears, you'll finally hear it. One of the biggest myths in modern love is that chaos equals depth, that constant highs and lows mean passion. But Jung would remind us, chaos is not connection. Struggle isn't proof of love. If you feel like love is a battle, ask yourself, what are you fighting for? Connection or validation? Love or the fear of being alone? Genuine love doesn't require you to shrink. It doesn't feed on power games or emotional acrobatics. The right person won't need you to lose yourself. They'll make space for you to grow. Here's a difficult truth. Many people say they want the right person, but refuse to let go of the wrong one. They justify, they hope, they hold on. But years pass, and nothing changes. Jung would say, you can't grow in barren soil. If a relationship continually brings pain, it's not a test. It's a message. Something inside you is still trying to heal through suffering. Until you see that, you'll confuse endurance with loyalty and pain with love. Letting go isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's the decision to stop betraying yourself in the name of connection. And when you finally choose peace over chaos, something changes. You create space. And that's when the right people appear, not because you tried harder, but because you stopped settling. When someone is truly meant for you, you'll know. Not because they're perfect, not because they tick every box, but because their presence doesn't ask you to abandon who you are. You'll feel calm, inspired, at ease. You won't chase clarity. It'll be there from the beginning. A quiet sense of truth, a feeling of home. So instead of asking, is this person right for me? Ask, am I being true to myself in this connection? Because once you are, the people meant for you won't pass you by. They'll recognize you as easily as you recognize them. Carl Jung taught that the most important journey is inward. When you face your shadows, when you heal and grow, you start to vibrate differently. The connections that once drained you fade away, and new ones emerge effortlessly. You don't have to chase. You don't have to force. You simply become someone who can recognize real connection when it appears. And when it does, it won't feel like magic. It will feel like truth, like peace, like home. This is Beyond the Twist, where we explore the hidden patterns of the mind, the psychology of love, and the art of self-discovery. Because before you find the right person, you must become the one who can truly see them. That's where it all begins.